Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new, welcome. Bath and Body Works got me this weekend, you guys. I had a 20% off coupon that was about to expire, and the sales were a little too good to pass up with the Disney collab launching. And I saw some fine fragrance mist that I wanted to pick up, which I didn't need. And I also didn't need candles, but here we are. So without further ado, let's hop into this haul. First candle out the bag is Life's a Fairy Tale. I absolutely love the fancy bow lid. I didn't pick up last year's Life's a Fairy Tale, but I did like this one better on cold this year, so I did pick this one up. Life's a Fairy Tale has scent notes of charming berries, floral fairy tale, and kingdom woods. And to me, this is overall a fruity scent. So I don't floral fairy tale, whatever that note is, which a lot of these notes are pretty vague when it comes to these candles. I don't get any woodiness. I just get like a sugary berry scent. Like a nice candied berry fragrance. It could be some floral in there as an undertone note. I don't want to say it smells perfumey, but it's not overload. It's kind of subtle. It's like a mild sugary berry scent. It's not a cloyingly sweet sugary berry scent. So I like this one on cold enough to pick it up, and I will definitely do a dedicated post-burn review of it here on the channel. Next out of the bag is Belle. She is a returning fragrance from last year's Disney collaboration. Belle has scent notes of rose petals, sparkling buttercup, and whipped vanilla. And yes, Belle is definitely more of a floral forward fragrance. You definitely get that rose note. It's a little creamy from the vanilla. And I do feel like it is a fruity, like a sweet fruitiness mixed with the rose fragrance and the vanilla. It says sparkling buttercup, but I don't really, outside of the rose, get any other type of floral. I don't know if buttercups even have a fragrance to them, but I will link the dedicated review that I did on this channel down in the description box below. Then we have Aurora. Aurora has notes of soft rose petals, sandalwood dreams, and sparkling fairy dust. And this kind of reminds me of Belle. If you take the vanilla note out, I do get, again, a rose floral with some type of sweet fruity note in there. And I can't really make out what the fruit is. Sandalwood, I wouldn't say I get a lot of sandalwood. I get more of a rose, like a fruity rose scent, a sweet fruity rose scent. But I do feel like Belle's, when you smell Belle's compared to Aurora's, Belle's is more of that creamy vanilla note, whereas Aurora is more of just that sweet floral. Like I don't really get a creamy. That's why I said the sandalwood, maybe when I warm it, it'll come off a little creamy, maybe a little woodsy from the sandalwood, but I'm not getting much of that on cold. And I think Rose's note is, Belle's note is a little more turned up on the rose note, whereas Aurora seems a little more subtle, but overall it's a pretty rose scent. You gotta like florals in order, especially rose, in order to get into Aurora. And I absolutely love this pretty pink packaging, and all of these come with a crown lid. Then we have Rapunzel with the pretty purple packaging. Rapunzel has notes of glowing sundrop flower, rich nectar, and golden musk. Now, Rapunzel's fragrance is unique. I will say, I don't know what a glowing sundrop flower is. I definitely get sweetness from that golden nectar. It is a little musky, and to me, this smells like what a purple floral would smell like. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the packaging playing on my brain, but yeah, hers is different from everybody else's fragrance when it comes to like the sweetness. I guess because it's more of that nectar note and it's not like a fruity sweetness coming from her fragrance with the floral. But I think Rapunzel was pretty. So I went ahead. I liked all of them enough to pick them up. Only one fragrance was my favorite. So I did back it up just in case I couldn't get around to getting another one. And by the time I post-burn review it, I really wanted to have a backup of it. So I just went ahead off a cold sniff and grabbed it. But yeah, I think Rapunzel is nice. I feel like hers isn't too floral, but then it also isn't too sugary like fruity candy sweet either. So can't wait to see what happens when I light this one up. And then we have Snow White. Snow White has scent notes of mystic red apple, ripened fruits, and enchanted woods. And I really like the way the apple is blended with the other notes in this candle. The fruitiness, I want to say is berry. It says ripened fruit. So it doesn't say that it's berry, but for some reason I'm getting berry with this one. Because it doesn't come off like a stone fruit like peach or apricot. And this apple, to me, I think what makes me like it so much is that it does lean a little more body care. I was expecting Snow White to just smell like a fresh, basic red apple scent. But the way this is blended, it has like a perfumey element to it. And does hers doesn't have a floral note listed, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is like a subtle floral fragrance note in here. Because it doesn't just smell like, again, a basic bright red apple scent. So I like Snow White. I don't know. Some of these on cold smell a little subtle. So they may have to be bedroom candles. But the way the fragrances are blended, I don't mind burning them in my bedroom. But I'll still test them out in my open concept space. But yeah, I really like how this apple note is done. I don't think this is just a straight up juicy, sweet, red, basic apple. So I like how this one is blended. I feel like if it is a woodiness, because I don't really get a distinct woodiness on cold. However, BBW blended this one. It just keeps it from being super basic. And I like that about this fragrance. Next up is Tiana. Now, when I reviewed this one last year, which I will link that review in the description box below, I said this was going to be a one and done because of the strength and throw. But I could not get all the other princesses. And the fact that they were buy one, get one, I had to get an even number of candles. So I couldn't leave Tiana out. She's my ethnicity. I love the green packaging. And I love Princess and the Frog. So I absolutely had to snag one Tiana this year. Tiana has scent notes of delicate water lily, gilded amber, and shimmering bayou woods. And Tiana's fragrance also shocked me last year. It was one of the standout fragrances to me on cold and while lit. It has like this citrusy vibe to it. It has that nice aquatic floral, that water lily note is in there. Definitely gives the vibe of a bayou in the best way. It smells good. It doesn't give you like swampy, like earthy water. It's nicely done. So I'm glad to at least have another Tiana in my stash to enjoy this year. Then last but not least, my absolute favorite, even out of the rose scents, because y'all know I love rose fragrances, is Mulan ×2. Mulan has scent notes of magnolia blossom, fierce waters, and radiant apricot. And yes, on cold, you get that apricot note. It's nice, it's sweet, it's well done. You get that fresh aquatic accord from the fierce waters. And hers, I will say, is the least floral dominant fragrance out of all of the princesses. So hers to me is more of a fresh, sweet, fruity balance. And I absolutely love her scent on cold. So I decided to get two and definitely will do a dedicated review for you guys here on the channel. Moving on to other purchases that I picked up that I had no business buying, but a lot of the BBW sales for the candles weren't up my alley as far as the price range. And there were a couple of scents that I was curious in getting that were new releases. So it was exciting. I haven't been in a Bath and Body Works store since November. So it was exciting to get in store with a new, the princess display and then all of the new body mist fragrances that were released and all of the candles. So I got super excited and just decided to utilize and maximize my rewards and coupon to the max. Went a little over budget. I will say that, but I had fun shopping. So I decided to revisit Palo Santo and Sage. I picked this candle up when it first debuted in the neutrals packaging a couple of years ago. It's been returning. I absolutely love Bath and Body Works Palo Santo candles, Palo Santo and Vanilla, the OG Palo Santo. And I did enjoy this one. I did wish it was stronger in my bedroom when I first purchased it. And I haven't purchased it since. And when I smelled it in store, it reminded me of why I enjoyed the fragrance so much the first time around. So I decided to give it another go. And plus it has this pretty green wax color. If you don't know, green is my favorite color. So it got me. Palo Santo and Sage has notes of clary sage, Palo Santo, and ambered woods. And yes, this is definitely more of your fresh herbal, woodsy Palo Santo fragrance. It's given aromatherapy, spa vibes. Comes with the thin core wicks and a colored wax. So hopefully this one will burn fine without dutting out on me. And while I don't mind enjoying this as a living room scent, I will definitely more than likely put it in my bedroom. It just gives me relaxing bedroom vibes. So I went ahead and picked up a Palo Santo and Sage. Next, we have freshwater and sea salt. Absolutely love this package design. It was another one. I think it was Vacation Villa that had this type of style. There were some that I had to leave behind after like going over and over, cold sniffing them and just seeing, am I really going to want to take this one home and enjoy it? It was some other fresh scents that I wanted. I think it was called Morning Rainfall and Mountainside Wildflower. But of course, the boyfriend was with me. And when he smelled those, he just kept saying, no. And Coastal, is it Coastal Hydrangea? I think I'm pronouncing that right. Hydrangea. All three of those, he just kept saying they reminded him of lotion or like body care. So out of those fresh scents, this was the one that stood out to me the most as being the most authentic aquatic fragrance. So I had to cut some things out and, you know, make up my mind on which one I wanted to go for. And I went with freshwater and sea salt. Freshwater and sea salt has notes of crisp water, sea salt crystals, and a bright hint of citrus. And yes, to me, even though I think it was Morning Rainfall, I can't remember the name, y'all. That one did have like a creamy, and it probably was because of the floral note that was used in that one. This one stood out to me as being the most like aquatic sea salt water smell. You definitely get that briny, aquatic, you know, water smell. It's simple, but it's fresh and it lives up to its name and scent notes. So super excited to have this one, and we'll do a dedicated post-burn review of it. And then there are certain candles like this one, Springtime in Paris, that I've had before, but when I get in store and I smell it, it reminds me of the first time I ever burnt the candle. And if it was a scent that I absolutely enjoyed and repurchased, which usually I repurchase one of these every year that it comes out, I can't leave it behind. The only reason why White Tea and Sage didn't make it in this haul is because I do have two, but I love the green package jar. And of course, when I smelled it in store, I wanted to bring it home with me, but I may pick that one up on the next sale because soon I'm only going to have one White Tea and Sage left in my stash. And y'all know I absolutely love that fragrance, but love this packaging with the swans for Springtime in Paris in the pink background. Springtime in Paris has notes of soft peach, lotus blossom, and fresh bergamot. And this is one of the peach scents that I can get behind with Bath and Body Works. Sweet Red Mango is also one of my favorites from the tropical release that has peach in it. And the way the scent is blended, the peach note doesn't smell off-putting. But yeah, I absolutely love Springtime in Paris. And it comes with this like gold, like basket weave looking lid. But yeah. Love this. Looking forward to burning this one because I don't think I picked it up last spring. So I can't wait to burn it again this spring. There was no way I was walking out the store without snagging an Island Margarita. Again, green packaging. I think a lot of you guys, I don't know if it was when I had my first YouTube channel or this one, I kept saying one of the candles reminded me of Sprite, and y'all corrected me and was like, it's the champagne margarita one, because I kept passing on Island Margarita because of that. I was mixing the two up. So I had finally decided to get it when it was in that pretty green, like tropical packaging, I think from 2 summers ago. And ever since then, that, and I know a lot of people aren't a fan of Iced Dragon Fruit Tea, but I always get at least one of each of those fragrances every year to enjoy. Island Margarita has scent notes of sweet mandarin, island mango, and sea salt. And yes, this puts me in the mind of a margarita. And in previous package designs, this always had a high strength and throw in my open concept. I hope that's still the case. Now this one has the rope-like wicks. So we'll see how this one burns. I never did a dedicated review on this one, you guys. Sometimes I try to figure out like what I want to do dedicated reviews on, because a lot of scents that are good, that are my favorites, I like to do reviews on for you guys, because there's always somebody new to the candle community. And if it's a decent scent with a good strength and throw, even though it's been around for a while, I feel like it deserves a dedicated review. So we'll see if I get around to burning this one, maybe. But I know a lot of the candle community just really wants to know about the new. So we'll see. But I absolutely love this one. And if you love tropical fruity scents, I highly recommend trying Island Margarita. Okay, so I did pick up Mountainside Wildflower. I think this was the one that I was like, I don't care what you say, I'm getting this one. So I did put back 2 of the scents. I think it's called Coastal Hydrangea, you guys. I think that's what it's called. And then I put back the Morning Rainstorm. It was pretty. That one actually reminded me a little bit of Eucalyptus Rain and Hibiscus Waterfalls blended together. It was a beautiful, fresh scent. Maybe I'll go back for it later, but it wasn't one that I like had to have like to bring home right now. But this one I did like, as well as the fresh sea salt one. Mountainside Wildflowers has notes of wild poppies, mountain lemongrass, and crisp bergamot. And this was the one on Cole that out of all of the fresh scents, he kept saying, this one kind of smells like a tea. Like it has like a tea vibe to it. And I was like, it's probably that lemongrass note. So yeah, this one doesn't come off super floral to me. I definitely get that lemongrass. And I don't really get, if it is bergamot in here, the dominant note to me on Cole is the lemongrass. And that bergamot note, it doesn't turn the scent cologne-y. It's more of a like fresh citrusy bergamot. So this is one that I was like, I can't wait to try this one out, because this one definitely stood out. This one and that fresh sea salt, out of the fresh scents, these were the 2 that stood out to me the most on Cole. And then Vanilla Coconut was the one that I decided to bring home out of Vacation Villa, and I think it was called Coastal Cottage. Vanilla Coconut has notes of sweet vanilla, coconut waves, and beechwood. And yes, absolutely love this fragrance. This one was out before as Vanilla Coconut Surf, so I do have a dedicated review. They're the same fragrance, it's just repackaged and renamed. I may link that one if I can find it. I think I did it on this channel. If I can find that video, I will link it in the description box below, because I can't remember if it was on this channel or my previous channel, which I have no more of my old post-burn reviews from my previous channel. But really, really love this coconut scent. If you don't like the tropical, sweet, fruity coconuts, and you like the more like creamy, sweet vanilla type ones, or more like the coconut sandalwood vibes, then I highly recommend getting Vanilla Coconut. It's a really well done fragrance. Nice, has some sophistication to it. Yeah, this is one of my top favorite coconut scents from BBW. Another top favorite coconut scent from Bath and Body Works will be Mahogany Coconut. This is another one that if I don't have it in my stash, or even if I'm only down to 1, if I smell it in store, it's going in the bag. I love Mahogany Coconut. I have been purchasing it for years. This is definitely that woody coconut vibe. You do get the mahogany note, but you get a nice balance of the coconut. It's kind of, I don't want to say an earthy coconut, but it's definitely not that sweet tropical fruity like Waikiki Beach coconut type of fragrance. It's definitely more of a woodsy coconut. It has notes of creamy coconut, mahogany woods, and English lavender. But just like the name Mahogany Coconut, you more so get the mahogany and the coconut than the lavender. So if you're not a lavender fan, don't let that note deter you from trying this one. This is one of my absolute favorites. I love all of the mahogany candles from BBW, so this is no exception. And then last but not least for the candles, we have First Blooms of Spring. First Blooms of Spring has notes of blooming lilies, pink peony petals, and sunny citrus. And this is definitely a citrusy floral, but I like the way it's blended. You get the floral and you get the citrus. The citrus note brightens up the fragrance, makes it a nice, vibrant floral. It's not overly floral. I don't feel like I get the pink peony. because peony to me comes off rose-like, and I don't get that. So I would say more so the blooming lilies, which again makes it's not too much of a strong, powerful floral fragrance to where I feel like on cold it's not equally balanced with that fresh citrus note. So this one is one that to me it's a bright floral. It puts me in the mindset of spring. So I had to bring this one home, and I absolutely love the package design. And then I went ahead and picked up some mist, you guys, because I did have a free, I think it was a free travel size reward. I had a reward to use, and then the body care was, the sprays was $6.95. So with 20% off, I felt like it was worth picking up a few, even though I didn't need them, but I liked what I smelled. So I snagged a few, and I went ahead and got Belle in the full size because I didn't purchase any of the Princess Mist last year when they were released. And I'm like heavy on rose right now with my body care. So it was only right that I picked up Belle. And then I just want to see if it's similar to what the candle smells like. And to me, this is the same exact fragrance as the candle. It's beautiful. Like I said, you gotta love rose fragrances. And I do feel like Belle scent, again, is more of a prominent rose scent. And I feel like Aurora's is a little bit more softer. But yeah, I love this, and I know I'm going to run through this one. So I didn't get any backups because we're trying to get better with backups and things, but I will enjoy this one that I have. And then I started to snag Mulan in the full size, but in order to use up my mini item, my travel size item, I really didn't see anything else that I wanted to get. So I just went ahead and grabbed Mulan, and we're going to see if this one is similar to the candle fragrance as well. And yeah, I feel like I get that aquatic. Now, to me, in the mist, I feel like the aquatic note stands out more than the apricot note does in the candle. But you still get that sweetness. It's like a fresh, sweet aquatic scent, more so to me in the mist. Now, maybe when I spray it on my skin and it dries down, the apricot will come through more. I'm not saying it's not there in the fine fragrance mist. It's present, but I feel like I get the apricot more in the candle. And this isn't too fresh aquatic to where it's like masculine leaning or too unisex leaning. That sweet apricot note in there is really nice. It's definitely still present, but I get to my nose more of that aquatic accord coming through in the fine fragrance mist. Then I only picked up a few of the everyday luxuries. I do kind of gravitate more towards those when they come out versus getting like the regular scents that they come out with, like the musk ones. I didn't even smell those. I completely forgot I saw them, and I kept walking past them, and I really wasn't even checking for these everyday luxuries. But a lot of the ones I bought, I don't think I've purchased one that I didn't like. So this was the last one in my store, so I decided to snag it because when I sprayed the tester, I liked it. And I usually like BBW's coconut in home fragrance and body care, and this is the All Day Coconut. All Day Coconut has scent notes of coconut milk, tropical lily, and vanilla sandalwood. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name, y'all. I know how it's pronounced, but the way I'm saying it, it doesn't sound right. And yeah, I like this one. You definitely get coconut. It's not heavy. I feel like lily isn't a heavy floral scent, so the floral in this is subtle. And as far as vanilla sandalwood, I could see a creamy woodiness with this one. I really want to spray it on my skin and see, because I'm getting a lot of alcohol with this one, but it is a nice coconut scent. I feel like it's a nice creamy coconut. Kind of subtle though, but it's okay because guess what? We wear these to bed or I layer them with other fragrances in my stash. So I'm not too worried about the longevity for the price point. This is why I would never pay $18.95 for one of these. But when it comes to how the fragrances are blended, they are nicely done. Yeah, I like this. I'm getting sweet, creamy coconut, not a lot of floral. And I feel like lily is usually like a delicate floral anyway. So I can see why this one sold out at my store. Of course, the aquatics never get a lot of love, but the fresh aquatics will always get love from me. This is Salted Shoreline. Salted Shorelines has scent notes of dewy bergamot, warm sage, and salted driftwood. And I told y'all, BBW usually releases these aquatic fragrances so much that I'm like, I could just get one. I literally just finished, I forgot what the other one was. Oh, I like this. Gotta be a fresh fragrance lover to get into this one. But of course, my fresh fragrance loving heart absolutely loves this one. But yeah, I was saying I forgot what if you check out my recent body care empties video, I think I have the other blue one. It was like in a darker blue bottle. I forgot what it was called, but I just finished that one and had plans on using my Mediterranean Mirage. But I think, yeah, I might use that one up and then use this one for it. This is giving me nice, fresh spring, summer. And I feel like fresh aquatics, you can kind of wear them all year long. And for this one, I do get that sage. I do get the sage. I do smell the bergamot, the citrusy bergamot that makes it that aquatic note, but I do get a bit of a herbal tone with this one. Let's see if I get softy driftwood on my skin. It's probably going to take longer for that note to come through, but overall, I like scents like this. It's definitely giving some type of like aquatic by the beach fresh scent to me without being coconut or sunscreen or like pineapple. But yeah, I'm not getting a whole lot of woodiness. Dominant notes seem to be bergamot and sage with this one. But it's not overdone on the herbal sage. It's a nice soft sage note, but it's there. And I can see why some people will probably be turned off from it. But if you like those type of notes, you'll get into this one. And this is one I'm definitely going to be spring and summer because I love fresh fragrances for spring and summer. Next up is Love Unleashed, which also seems to be another popular one from the Everyday Luxury line. Going back to this, the coconut one, I will say I do get more of that lily on the dry down. It almost reminds me of, what was that candle? The lily note that was in, it was some type of orange blossom candle that came out last summer. And before that, what was it called, y'all? It was tropical something, and it was in a black jar with the pretty flowers. I know I did a dedicated review of it, but the lily note in that coconut Everyday Luxury fragrance reminds me of the lily note used in those candles. Subtle, but there. It's nice. Going back to Love Unleashed, this has notes of sugared pink pepper, warm neroli, and whipped marshmallow. And I think this was my teenager's favorite. I think this one was her favorite, of course, the marshmallow note. She's a gourmand girly. She loves vanilla. She loves fruity scents. And she kind of getting into the perfumey stuff too, but she's definitely like a gourmand, you know, marshmallow vanilla girly. And this is pretty. I like the marshmallow base. I definitely get the neroli. It's not too much pink pepper coming through. Yeah, I mostly get a pretty neroli and a nice sweet marshmallow base. This is beautiful. I see why a lot of people like this one too. And I love the way these bottles look. And I think that's what gets me. They're simple. Some would probably say boring, but they kind of give it like an elevated look. So I really like these bottles and the colors. And I think that's what makes, like, they catch my eye when I get in store and I'm curious to smell them and see what they smell like. A lot of these, I don't know what they're supposed to be dupes of. I just know they smell good. I like them. So I picked them up. And the last fragrance that I picked up, Always Fleur. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Scent notes are shimmering pears, silky rose petals, and cedar musk. It's very hard for me to pass up on a rose scent. I forgot to get, I do have another free reward. I'm going to get that Nocturnal Rose. I really like that. The one that's in the men's line that I feel like is a nice unisex scent. I love this one. And it's not your basic rose. You definitely get the rose, but you get the pear with it. You get that nice fruity, dewy pear with the rose. And it could be some musk in there. Rose fragrances usually have musk as a base. I'm just spraying everything. But yeah, I think I have Covered in Roses. And I think it was a couple. Bath & Body Works did a lot of rose scents. Now, when it comes to the candles, that rose one is suede. I wanted to get it. The rose lover in me wanted that one. but it was something with the notes that came off a little sharp. And I'm feeling like it was patchouli in that candle. It says something about embered woods, but to me it came off like patchouli. I didn't really get like a smooth suede rose scent like I was expecting. So if anybody burnt that candle, let me know in the comments below if that like scent mellows out on warm compared to on cold, because what I got with that one, I liked it, but I was kind of like, something is off in this one. I don't know if the rose was too turned up with what I smelled was like a sharp patchouli. It's a little bit too much. It wasn't like patchouli and rosewood at all. So I ended up leaving that one behind. I almost got that one, but oh yeah, this is pretty. But yeah, I really like this one, of course, because it has rose in it, and I think it's nicely done. I like that they paired a pear note, a fruity pear note with this one. And even though you still get that like musky classic rose, the pear really makes it it has a nice sweetness to it from the pear. Like dewy, but not so much as like your typical rose water and ivy or your classic rose, because that's another one from BBW. That was the first rose scent I picked up that I fell in love with in body care. And from then on, my rose journey in body care, just continued. And then it went over into home fragrance. So really enjoyed this one. Can't wait to wear it. And then last but not least, the boyfriend had a free, I think, travel size item. So he picked up Noir in the cologne mist. I like Noir. I would wear it myself. Did I spray? I don't even think he sprayed it yet. Nope. But yeah, I love this fragrance. Vanilla Noir is good too. I think that one is still out. So if you love, does this have the notes on there? I think this one doesn't have a vanilla. I forgot what the heck is in Noir. But it's nice. It's a nice, like smooth cologne scent. It's not sharp. I don't really have the notes to explain the fragrance. It's been so long since he had this one. So when I saw it, it was out of this or Ocean. I was like, please get Noir. So I really love this one. And I wouldn't be opposed to getting one for myself. Because I do wear like scents that are unisex, that come off unisex to me, that aren't super, super masculine, but they're marketed towards, men. And if I like it, I'll still buy it as long as it's not overly masculine. Like it could have, it can be masculine with a little touch of femininity in there to where it's just not overboard cologne. But this one is so good. If you had never had this one before, it's a classic. It's always there. It's one of the men's signature scents. Definitely pick this one up. And that's it, you guys. That's all I have for this BBW haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was so fun to film. It was so fun to get in store and shop. I haven't been in there in a while. So I'm glad Bath & Body Works had some fragrances that at least intrigued me to get me into the store, especially with the Disney release, because I did partake in the first release and I really enjoyed all of those candles from that first release, even though I didn't repurchase some. And the body care scents, I'm definitely going to have fun with those. If you happen to like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, bye.